Oh, hey, boys. How you boys doing out there? All right. So, this video is for entertainment and education purposes only. Any and everything I say could be wrong. Do your own research and come to your own conclusions. So the subject of this video is so I've ran a channel. I've talked about how I've run a channel. And this channel I'm running different. You know, because okay, for example, like everybody says don't use YouTube. Well, to me that means use YouTube. You know, like when they say, "Oh, don't smoke cigarettes." To me that means smoke cigarettes. If everybody's saying, "Oh, don't smoke cigarettes," then I smoke cigarettes. When everybody says, "Oh, don't use YouTube, you need to use BitChute," well, then I'm going to go use YouTube. So here I am on YouTube. I've got 675 videos and I've got 16 subscribers. This is beautiful. This is what it's all about for me. You know, you do you, man. You do you. So I'm doing it all wrong, right? I'm doing it all wrong. You know, like in my previous videos, oh, you're supposed to take school serious. You're supposed to take grade school and middle school and high school serious. Well, then to me that means this is all bullshit. I'm not fucking, it's all stupid. I'm not taking any of it serious. See? Everything's inverted. So anyway, so I've run a channel for a while. And you know, where I had like 300 to 400 subscribers, and of course, you know, then you hear all this shit. When you have 300 or whatever like that subscribers, you got people coming to your channel, and they're gonna say all kinds of shit. You'll hear all kinds of shit, and then you'll always hear the naysayer loves to come to your channel and tell you how you're wrong and they're right. You know. Well, because that's the way the world works, you know. That's the way the whole world, you know. Look around. What do you see? No, seriously. I'm serious. Look around. What do you see? Tell me I'm wrong. I'm going to tell you, I already know what you see. If you really open your eyes and you really, truly look around, I can see through your eyes. I know what you see. If you really open your eyes and look around, I know what you see. You know what you see? People breaking off into warring factions, each group saying to the other, we're right and you're wrong. And right down to individuals. I'm right, you're wrong. We're right, you're wrong. Look around. What do you see? Go ahead, try it. Look around. What do you see? People breaking off into warring factions, each group saying to the other, we're right and you're wrong. Right down to the individual. I'm right and you're wrong. And so when you're running a channel, oh yeah, that's all you see. You have a channel with 300 or 400 subscribers. When you go to the comments, all these people, they're coming in to tell you how they're right and you're wrong. Right? Again, look around. What do you see? People breaking off into warring factions, each group saying to the other, we're right and you're wrong. Right? Yeah. I need to get my crystal ball out. See how I can read your mind? I know what you're experiencing, and I've never even met you. I've never even met you, and I can see through your eyes. If you were to open your eyes and really look around, what do you see? People breaking off into warring factions, each group saying to the other, we're right and you're wrong. Everywhere. Strange, right? How could I know this? How could I know that that's what you see when you look around? How is it possible that I could even know what you see? How? Am I a clairvoyant or something? Look around. What do you see? People breaking off into warring factions, each group saying to the other, we're right and you're wrong. Yeah, so if you have a channel and you got 300 subscribers, that's what you're going to see. Just like if you were to look around in the real world, what do you see? Same thing. And so all these years I've run a channel, I've that's what you see. That's what you'll see. People coming to your channel telling you that they're right and you're wrong. That's it. And so a real common thing I would see, these are a lot of common things I would see on my channel, is like people saying that I'm pretending I'm homeless when I'm not. And it's just like, there is no point in even engaging that. Trust me, I spent a lot of time trying to clear this up. Like, look, dude, I'm trying to tell you, this is what it is. I'm not doing that. But then, I'd get like 10 more subscribers, and then 1 or 2 of those subscribers would start in on the same thing, and then I'd have to go back and explain, okay, look, this is what I'm doing. This is what my channel is doing. It's not, you don't understand because you're new, and then 10 more subscribers come in, and then it's the same thing again. Look at this guy, he's pretending to be homeless when he's not. He look at him sitting on his nice couch with the painting in the back. He's not homeless. Endless. To the point where the only thing left to do is just ignore him. It's like, all right, whatever, go away. I don't want you here. Leave. Or don't. I don't know what to tell you. Go ahead. Do whatever you want. I don't give a fuck. Right? So anyways, and it just never ends. It never ends. That's just all it is, right? And then, and so that would be real common. And then another one would be like, oh, this guy, he's pretending to care for the homeless. He's really a Mossad agent. He's some kind of agent. I'm some kind of secret agent and shit. It's like, oh my God. Or people say, shut up, you're just a fucking bum anyways. But I thought I'm not a bum. I'm pretending to be a bum. Which is it? Which is it? It's always that I'm wrong and they're right. It's always that. Again, look around. What do you see? People breaking off into warring factions, each group saying to the other, we're right and you're wrong. It's like it never ends. And it never will end. It's never going to end. There's nothing that you and I could do about it. No, none of this is going to change. People are just going to continue to break off into warring factions, each group saying to the other, we're right and you're wrong. And then you'll have people come around like George Carlin. We'll just use him as an example. And George Carlin will have an audience of fucking 5,000 people in front of him, and George Carlin will be accurately articulating how this is the problem, is that the powers that be, they just keep everybody divided so that the powers that be can continue to run off with all the fucking money. And George Carlin will explain all this, and you'll have 5,000 people all like, yeah, that's right, George Carlin. That's right. That's right. This guy's a truther. Yay! Yeah. George Carlin will have a fucking massive audience in front of him, and he'll just break it all down in like a minute. The powers that be, the ruling class, they continue to keep everybody divided so that they, the ruling class, can continue to run off with all the fucking money. Everybody loves it. Love George Carlin. George, you're so right, George Carlin. Yay! But then what do? Continue to break off into warring factions, each group saying to the other, we're right and you're wrong. It never ends. It's never going to end. You see, there's some truth. George Carlin, he spoke the truth, And everybody loved it. Oh, George, I love George. Don't you guys just love George Carlin? Yay, George Carlin. Oh. But did that change anything? George Carlin spoke the truth. That the ruling class keep everybody divided so that the ruling class can continue to run off with all the fucking money. And all us stupid people, we all fall for it every single fucking time. And everybody's like, yeah, George Carlin, yeah! But what do they all do? They continue to fall for it every time. The masked against the unmasked, the vaxxed versus the unvaxxed, on and on, the blacks versus the whites, the Republicans versus the Democrats, the Jews versus everyone else. It just never ends. I mean, right down to the stupidest shit, like the people that drink black coffee versus the people that drink coffee with cream and sugar, and it's never going to end. See, this is testimony that people don't care about the truth. That's an example of a testimony where people they don't care about the truth. Because this is what you need to know about the truth. There's what people want to hear. There's what people want to believe. There's everything else. Then there's the truth. People don't care about the truth. George Carlin laid it all out right there, and everybody loved it. The ruling class keep everybody divided so that the ruling class can continue to run off with all the fucking money. That's the truth. But did George Carlin laying that truth out, did that change anything at all? Even though all those people, yay, yeah, you go, George Carlin. That's right, George. Preach, George Carlin. Preach. Oh yeah, that's right. Nobody does. So, anyways, I forgot where I was going. Oh yeah. So always people coming to my channel. This is why I only have 16 subscribers. Perfect. I don't want these people. I don't want to be found. Go find Richie from fucking Boston. Richie from Boston is so easy to find, There's no need to be looking for people like me. You've got Richie from Boston and Crow House. You don't need people like me, dude. So, anyways. And so, like, one of the accusations that I'm pretending to care about poor people and stuff when I really don't, Because I'm a Mossad agent. I'm a secret agent, and all. Just like, it's like, oh my God. And, so somebody tipped me off. There's some kind of website floating around. And they put me on their website. They have a handful of like 20 channels. And it was actually funny. So they have like links to these 20 channels. And you can click on one, right? And mine is one of them. And you click on it. And it'll give like a description of the channel. And and the description was that. It was like, yeah, this is this channel, storytimeah. And, he's just this guy who pretends to care about the poor when really he's using his channel. It's all a facade. It's all this facade. He pretends to, care about the poor as a money laundering scheme, to get money and stuff and all this. And it was actually funny. Somebody tipped me off to it, and I went to it, and I looked at it, and I read it, and it was funny. I mean, I don't know if I don't think that whoever did it, it appears, by all appearances, to be in jest, just like joking around. But I don't care either way, I don't care. It don't, whatever. And, but see, this is where, some things are difficult to understand. And I mean, I've gone over this in the years I've done a channel. So I want to go into this. and not because that website has my channel and does it. I don't care. I think it's funny, but it's an interesting subject. Like it's like, you know. So because see what people don't, you know, there's so many people, and I think it's just because of brainwash and stuff that there's something that there's a lot of cognitive dissonance around. And this is why I always bring up this quote. I don't know who said it. They said, there are two paths in life. The short-sighted embark on the dishonest path, the wise on the honest path, because the wise know the truth, that in helping others, we help ourselves. And in hurting others, we hurt ourselves. Okay? And that's just the truth. There are just very simple truths that are pretty much, you just can't, once you discover them, there's no turning back. You know, there's no turning back unless you're in the habit of rejecting the truth, which many people are. But you see, that's the truth. The truth is that in helping others is how we help ourselves. And see, people, so many people, they don't believe this. But when it comes down to why, causes and conditions as to why people do not believe that in helping others is how we help ourselves, the core of their rejection of that truth is because they're of selfishness. They don't want to be burdened with helping others. And so they choose to reject that idea. Oh, that's not true that in helping others we help ourselves. That's just more Freemasonic brainwash, you know. And so that's a person embarking on the dishonest path. Because they're rejecting the truth that in helping others is how we help ourselves. That's how we help ourselves. Whatever the dilemma is, whether the dilemma is that everyone is dropping like flies from the vaccine, or the dilemma is everybody's dropping like flies from the Jews, or the dilemma is go down the list of fear porn that is being pumped out 24/7 all over on BitChute, Rumble, Odyssey, YouTube. The solution to any and all of this alleged shit that's going on is to help each other. By helping each other is how we help ourselves. Through the great vaccine genocide. That's the solution to the vaccine genocide, this alleged vaccine genocide that's taking place, is in helping others is how we help ourselves through the great genocide. That's the solution. See, people don't want solutions. They just want to complain about problems. They want to complain endlessly about how this is a big genocide. But when the solution to that is in helping others is how we help ourselves. And it's a very simple truth. It's not complex. People just choose to reject it out of selfishness, self-centeredness. Oh, that's bullshit. That's a Freemasonic conspiracy. Everything is just a conspiracy, you know. And so, okay, Matt Christensen, he's a big YouTuber, a constitutionalist, right? And he's just another dime a dozen sellout fucking YouTuber, right? But these guys, they'll speak truth. They don't walk their talk, but they'll speak the truth if it sounds good, you know, if it'll get them clicks, likes, and views. Just like Amazing Atheist, he's another one, a liberal that doesn't walk his talk. And you can see through these guys. They're very easy to see, especially if you use the subject of poverty as a measurement a barometer to measure the authenticity of what a person is saying, which is for a whole other video. But anyways, yeah, like Amazing Atheist is another one where he said, what good is freedom of speech if nobody listens? Bingo, bingo. Whatever your thoughts are on Amazing Atheist, that is a very valid point. What good is freedom of speech when nobody listens? See, this is the problem. The art of conversation is lost. If all anybody wants to do is be heard, but nobody wants to listen to other views, well, then there is no value in freedom of speech. It doesn't matter. You can have the freest free speech platform in the entire universe. But if nobody's willing to listen to other people differing points of view and stuff, well, then all you're going to have is a bunch of echo chambers. And Matt Christensen made a great point, and it's totally true. But see, the thing is these guys, they don't walk their talk, so it doesn't matter. But nonetheless, the statement itself is true. And Matt Christensen said that in order to defend our freedoms, or in order to protect our freedoms, we need to defend the freedoms of others. That's a basic truth. That's just true. And it's the same concept as in helping others is how we help ourselves. In helping others, in defending the freedoms of others is how we protect our own freedom. And that's like third grade level, like 1 + 1 = 2. It's very simple. It's simple. And see, people reject this truth because they don't want to be burdened with defending the freedoms of others. They just want to have their own freedom. But you can't, in order to protect one's own freedom, one must defend the freedoms of others. In helping others is how we help ourselves. And so self-preservation requires helping to preserve others around me. That's how I preserve myself, is by helping to preserve others outside of myself, is how self-preservation works. That's how self-preservation works. Just like what Matt Christensen said, in order to protect my freedoms, I need to defend the freedoms of others. And that's just the way the world works. You know? So like, if I'm going off on this tangent about how there's all these fucking homeless people everywhere, and they're just getting ground down into the ground and trampled over, and nobody gives a flying fuck. And I'm like totally like going off on a fucking rant about that. That has little, if anything, to do with virtue signaling of how much I care about others, and mostly to do with the whole concept of, in order to protect our freedoms, we need to defend the freedoms of others. And you have these masses and masses of well over 1 million fucking U.S. homeless citizens that are being unconstitutionally and lawlessly fucking trampled constantly, 24/7, for decades. And if we want to defend our freedoms, we need to protect. If we want to protect our freedoms, we need to defend the freedoms of other people who are undeservedly being trampled, whose freedoms are undeservedly being trampled on. And that's why I go off on these tangents. And I've been doing this since 2007 or 8, going before the town councils, Because, dude, there are masses of homeless people that do not deserve to be treated the way they are. Society, and it is mind-blowing. But nobody cares. And it's like, that's fine. Don't care. That's fine. Don't care. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to me when I'm saying, in order to protect our freedoms, we need to defend the freedoms of others. Don't listen to me. And then 5 years from now, when there's another COVID lockdown and everybody's getting moved into their pods, and then you're all crying, and all I can do is say, bro, I have been trying to warn as many people as possible this shit is coming since 2007. In order to protect our freedoms, we need to defend the freedoms of others. And helping others is how we help ourselves. And so we as a collective have brought all of this on ourselves, including vaccine, genocides, and all this stuff that everybody complains about. You notice they never talk about solutions. They only complain about the problem. Everybody's dropping like flies from the Jews. Well, in helping others is how we help ourselves. If the big dilemma is that everybody's dropping like flies from the Jews, the solution is to help each other. But who's willing to do that? Who is doing that? And people always kick the homeless thing down the road. While the homeless thing grows and grows and grows and grows and grows, and they keep kicking that can down the road because there's something else that's more important going on over there. When all that is a distraction from doing what's right. And helping others is how we help ourselves. Oh, but now there's Jewish space lasers they're making. We need to go and try to figure out the space laser. We don't have time to, help each other. We don't have time to defend the freedoms of others because now there's a Jewish space lasers. They're always anything to distract people from doing, from being accountable. Holding themselves accountable. If you want your freedom and you see some fucking elderly woman who's fucking like destitute on the street and eating out of dumpsters and you just drive right by because you're in a hurry because you got to get to, there's some Jewish space laser base 20 miles up the road that you found out about, and you're going to do a YouTube video on it because it'll get you a lot of clicks, likes, and views, and you're doing it for a good cause because the Jewish space lasers are what's causing all the problems. And you just drive right by the fucking elderly 80-year-old homeless woman who's been destitute for like 20 years and is fucking, oh no time for that. I got a YouTube video to do, I might get internet famous. And it's for a good cause because don't you know it's the Jews? Oh, the whole reason that woman's like that is because it's the Jews. And I'm going to the Jewish space laser base to do a video on it. Like, in order to protect our freedoms, we need to defend the freedoms of others. So go to these areas where there's all these homeless people. Those people are being their constitutional rights are being violated on an hourly basis. Why? What is it? So anyways, so my whole thing is not virtue signaling of how, I care so much. No, it's because I care about self-preservation. In order to protect my freedom, I need to defend the freedoms of others. And so do you. And see, another sleight of hand trick that people use is they cherry pick. Oh, I don't want to defend those people's freedoms because, that would be really inconvenient. Let me find a more convenient one. Like I could just, instead of doing that, I can put a Black Lives Matter, thumbnail on my Facebook page, and then I'm doing something. Cherry pick. And someone else can get to that more inconvenient stuff because I don't really feel like doing it. And so then all this shit, important shit, just keeps getting, all this important stuff, the can just keeps getting kicked down the road because everybody wants the easy way out. Oh, I'll just put a Black Lives Matter thumbnail up on my Facebook page, and that'll be enough. Somebody else can do the heavy lifting. You know. And that's all there is all this distraction. Oh, look at what's going on today. Breaking. Read all about it. Newsflash, breaking. Read all about it. Epstein files. You know, it's always something else. It's always something else. It's all cherry picking. When you got like real fucked up shit going on and nobody wants to be inconvenienced with it. And the homeless, like over 1 million U.S. homeless citizens whose constitutional rights are being violated on a daily and hourly basis, that shit is coming for you and me. The more we kick that can down the road and we talk about Jewish space lasers and all this dumb shit and interdimensional beings flying around and all this stupid shit that doesn't matter at all. Because we're just cherry picking. We're just looking for distractions to keep us from doing the heavy lifting, the real work. Yeah. So no, I'm not here like on some self-righteous campaign to look at me, you know, I'm virtue signaling. That's why I cuss and say cunt and all this stuff. That's why I never put links for donations, you know, or any of this. Because, you know, it's not about any of that. The whole point is in order to protect our freedoms, we need to defend the freedoms of the elderly fucking woman who's fucking been destitute in homeless poverty for 10 years, who's pushing a shopping cart and eating out of dumpsters, bro. That's how we protect our freedom, is defending the freedoms of these people who are being trampled on all the time. And until people figure it out, just expect more vaccine genocides and Jewish takeovers, because nothing's ever going to change until you start defending the freedoms of others. And look for those that are fucking have it worse than you. When you see a destitute fucking person who's obviously been fucking destitute third world poverty for fucking 10 years and they're eating out of dumpsters and shit, maybe you ought to think about that and how it relates to your freedom. It's just like that World War II poem where it says, first they came for the bread bakers, but I wasn't a bread baker, so I didn't say anything. Then they came for the candlestick makers, but I'm not a candlestick maker, so I didn't say anything. Then they came for these people, but I'm not part of that group, so I didn't say anything. Well, then they came for me. That's the whole point. In order to protect our freedoms, we need to defend the freedoms of others. If they start going after the candlestick makers and you're not a candlestick maker, so you just keep going about like, oh, whatever, I don't know. And you start to see a pattern where it's like, well, now they're going for the other guys, but I'm not one of them. And you just keep like, whatever. And you refuse to defend the fucking freedoms of other people because it's not happening to you. Guess what's going to happen? They're going to come for you, you dumb fucks. So look at these masses of homeless people, U.S. citizens, over 1 million of them. They are getting their asses raped all day, every day for years, and you don't care. But then the 2020 lockdowns come, and then all of a sudden you're crying and complaining and demanding your constitutional rights. In order to protect your constitutional rights, you need to defend the rights of other people, you dumb fucks. That's what it's all. In helping others is how we help ourselves. And again, this is like 3rd grade level, 5th grade level shit. You want to talk about idiocracy and adult children. You got all these adult fucking infantile fucking immature adults running around like a pack of wild fucking retards all over the place, pretending like they're mature, pretending like they're adults, pretending like they're, you know, and it's all a facade. They're fake motherfuckers, fake constitutionalists, fake liberals, you know, fake Christians, fake Buddhists. I love the fake Buddhists who wear all the hippie trippy Buddhism shit, and they're so fake. Anyways, in order to protect our freedoms, we need to defend the freedoms of others. Look at these masses of fucking homeless people in every major fucking city across the nation. What do you think is going on? You don't even know what's going on because you won't even look at it. You won't even look at what's going on. And if their constitutional rights are being trampled on an hourly and daily basis, and you've got over 1 million of them, and I mean overt fucking constitutional rights violations, where they are just getting ass raped all day, and you're not willing to look at it, and you just go on and on all day about how it's the Jews, it's a vaccine genocide, it's the Jews, and you refuse to look at what's going on right outside your door because you want to talk about Israel and Palestine and the baby's body parts flying and how there's a global genocide everywhere. You're just another fake. You're just another fraud. In order to protect your freedoms, you have to defend the freedoms of others. And helping others is how we help ourselves. If you want self-preservation, you need to help other people preserve their self as well. That's how you preserve yourself, is by helping others. But so if you're suicidal, then don't care. Just be suicidal. Don't care about preserving. Only just be a suicidal maniac who all you care about is yourself. While you know masses of innocent people are just fucking dying from poverty, and you don't care because it's clickbait on BitChute to talk about the Jews and vaccine genocides. So don't care about anything or anyone but yourself. And then when the next lockdowns come and the fucking pods come, they roll out the pods and you're getting moved into your what do they call that? Your quarantine pod. They roll out the pods and you getting moved into your quarantine pod and you're crying and complaining. Did you ever do anything to help the people most in need of help? Which would be the homeless. Over 1 million homeless people, dude. You don't ever care about them, but you care so much about global genocide and you care so much of how the Jewish laser beams are taking over the world. You care so much. Walk your talk. Walk your talk, you know? Yeah, no. Dude, this is the thing. So with this over 1 million homeless people in this country whose constitutional rights are being trampled on an hourly basis across this nation, that is martial law. So martial law has been here all along, but they've only gone after the homeless. And just like that World War II poem, well, they're going for the homeless. I'm not homeless, so I'm not going to say anything. And they've been doing this to the homeless for fucking decades. Do you see anybody talk, all these truthers and freedom fighters and constitutionalists and liberals that are all believing in equality, are they ever talking about the homeless? Never. Never with a capital N. And those are the people getting trampled by this system. And so, yeah, don't ever look at that or ever talk about it or ever care about it. Meanwhile, keep demanding how everybody care about it's the Jews and demanding how everyone should care about vaccines. None of this is ever going to go anywhere. It's only going to get worse. The pods are coming. I mean, like I said, that's martial law. Martial law has been here all along for the homeless. This whole time, for decades. And you've never cared. You've never once talked about how martial law is already here. Look at how they treat the homeless. Martial law is not a theory. It's not coming. It's been here. All you have to do is look at the way that the government and the law treats homeless. That's martial law. And it's been here all along. And if it's already here, but it's only happening to the homeless, well, guess what? It's coming for you, you dumb motherfuckers. And I've been saying this since 2007. You know, I didn't start a YouTube channel until 2016, and that's all I talked about. But I've been doing this since 2007, 2008. Well, and again, someone please remind me, what happened in 2019 and 2020? What is it that happened? Oh, lockdowns? Lockdowns! Oh! Well, that's what I've been saying the whole time. Martial law is already here. The next step is it's going to go from the homeless to you. You're going to be starting to be treated like homeless, where the expectation is going to be you will own nothing and be happy, just like the homeless. The homeless must own nothing and be happy. Why aren't they happy? How dare they not be happy? They brought their misery upon themselves. You're next. They're going to roll out the pods and they're going to say the same thing to you. You must be happy in your pod. And if you're not, how dare you not be happy? How dare you complain? You brought this upon yourself. You brought the pods upon yourself, just like the homeless. And so again, someone please remind me, what happened in 2019 and 2020? Because I've been warning about this way before 2020. That's exactly what I'm saying. The way they're treating the homeless is the way they're going to start treating you. The way they're treating the homeless back in 2007, 2008, 2009 and beyond is martial law, dude. That is martial law imposed only on the homeless. Everyone else gets the special treatment, but the homeless, they get martial law. And that has been what's been going on. And I've been trying to tell people, and I've been telling them that they're gonna start treating everyone else the same. It's coming for everyone else. The way they treat the homeless is what they're coming for everyone else. And again, remind me what happened in 2019 and 2020. Oh, please remind me, what is the World Economic Forum's plan? Is that everybody own nothing and be happy? Everything I said is what's happening. But has anyone listened to me? Have I shown up now? I'm a popular trending channel, getting showered with accolades of praise because I was right? No. Who is? Who is though? Richie from Boston, Crow House, all the same motherfuckers. And they're not talking about homelessness. They weren't saying that the way the martial law has been being imposed on the homeless all these years, and that because that martial law is happening, it's going to start coming for you. They've never said that. Richie from Boston, Crow House, none of these people have ever said that. And to this day, they still don't. They're talking about, the Jewish space lasers in Israel and Palestine and interdimensional beings. Anything but what I'm talking about is what they'll go on and on. Anything to distract from what I'm talking about. Martial law, real martial law has been being employed on the homeless for like probably our whole lifetime. And the can just keep kicking the can. See, in order to protect our freedoms, we need to defend the freedoms of others. And helping others is how we help ourselves. So if you want solutions to global genocide and Jewish space lasers and all this shit, the solution is in helping others is how we help ourselves. In order to protect our freedoms, we need to defend the freedoms of others. But see, I'm a lone voice in the wilderness. Nobody is ever going to do this. Everybody wants to have their cake and eat it too. And this is what so yeah, this has been everybody's, he's just faking it. He's a fake. He's a fraud. He's a secret agent for the Mossad. Because I talk about something that nobody talks about. Homeless poverty in the U.S. And how it is directly tied to the World Economic Forum, martial law, and all these hot button sexy topics. It is more relative and more than space lasers and interdimensional beings and all these distractions from the truth. Yeah, martial law has been employed upon the homeless this whole time. And see, if I'm right that martial law has been being employed upon the homeless, well then what's the logical next step? Like, what's the trajectory if that's the truth? Is the common sense would tell you that the trajectory would be they're going to start coming for you too. And you can see it. There's empirical evidence. The World Economic Forum talking about, the quarantine pods that you're going to move into and own nothing and be happy. And the lockdowns that happen in 20. I was already predicting all this shit long before it ever rolled out. Long before it became clickbait. But nobody cares. See, that's the thing. Nobody cares. And what is going to change that? Me doing this video? No. So why even do a video? Right?